So, if you want to actually make money on Amazon by selling physical products and putting them on Amazon.com and making profit, then you need to understand the actual fees involved when selling on Amazon's platform. So in this video, I'm going to break down all of the different seller fees, from the referral fees to the inventory fees, to the fulfillment fees, to the seller plan fees. I'm going to break down all these fees in this video and also give you a very simple and easy way to figure out the fees on any product that you're potentially thinking about selling on Amazon. And that's very, very easy and simple to do. So stay tuned for that. So if you're excited for this video and if you're excited to actually make money with selling on Amazon.com, then smash the thumbs up button and subscribe down below, because I release multiple videos every single week. All right, guys, so we're on the laptop now. Let's talk numbers. So what exactly is this page? This is the page where Amazon breaks down all the different fees, such as the selling plan, referral fees, and fulfillment fees. But first, how do we get here? We simply just type in Amazon seller fees into Google, hit enter, and then we see how much does it cost to sell on Amazon, ? Click on that, and now we're here. Now, the different fees that once again we're going to have are the selling plan fee, the referral fees, the fulfillment fees, and then other costs. Now, I recommend until you actually start selling units, you should just start up with the individual plan, and you can always upgrade once you start selling units. And the difference is that once you have less than 40 units a month, this is going to save you money, because it's going to take $1 for every unit that you sell. And so obviously after you sell 40 units or 41 units, you would be losing money with the individual plan. Now with the professional plan, if you sell more than 40 units, it's a no-brainer. You're going to be using this professional plan, just so that Amazon allows you to sell on their platform. Now, if you currently are on the professional seller plan and you've been on the plan for a couple of months and you haven't actually started selling units yet, you can easily get your money back if you just contact Amazon's customer service and simply tell them, I've been on the professional plan and I haven't sold any units. They will basically refund you for all the months. So once again, stay on the individual until you start selling units every single month, then upgrade later on. So the very first fee was the seller plan. Now the second fee are going to be the referral fees. Now this is actually when Amazon is going to allow you to sell on their platform. But how they categorize it is a little bit different. So if you click on the referral fees, basically Amazon jargon, referral fees. For every item sold, sellers pay Amazon a percentage of the total price, including the item price, shipping costs, and any other gift wrapping charges or a minimum amount, whichever is greater. Referral fees are in addition to seller plan fees. So once again, the first thing was the seller plan fees. Now we have the referral fees. Now Amazon defines it as, the item price, shipping costs, whatever. They're paying you a percentage, but basically it's to sell on Amazon.com, to be in front of all of their hundreds of millions of customers all around the world. You have to pay a referral fee. Everyone has to pay it. You can't get around it. Now, what are the actual charges for the referral fees? So it's going to be based on the specific category that you sell under. Now, as a general, slate all across for most categories and for most products, they will be paying a 15% referral fee. But once again, if your product is slightly different, if you're selling, clothes or maybe jewelry or, food, it's going to be slightly different. So we can just simply read it. 3D printed products, 12%. Amazon device accessories, 45%. Appliances, 15%, up to $300, and up to $300 sale price. For baby products, we have 8% for products with a total sales of $10 or less. So if you're $5 to $10 or $1 to $10, you're paying 8%. Once you go over the $10 mark, you end up paying 15% for products, baby products. And so you see that for a lot of the products. For beauty products as well, once you're under $10, you're paying 8%. Once you're over $10, which is going to be most products on Amazon, you're paying 15%. So in a lot of categories, they have that once you're under 10, 8, over 10, 15%. Now, camera and photo, cell phone devices, 8%. A lot of times those are going to be slightly more expensive in terms of sale price, so they take less from you. But a lot of the categories like the camera, electronics, those type of categories you probably aren't going to be selling in. So just make sure you come to this page and look at your specific category for the item that you're thinking about selling. But once again, majority of the items will be around 15% as a referral fee. Now back to the top of the page, we have the seller plan fees, the referral fees, and now this is where things get a little bit interesting. So depending on the size of your item, the weight of your item, and the dimensions of your item, this is where things, I guess the size and dimensions are the exact same kind of. So basically the size / dimensions or the weight of your item, this is where things get a little bit interesting or tricky. So if we go to the fulfillment fees, now this is where Amazon is actually fulfilling the order, meaning so that when someone, finds your listing, searches in a search, so searching for, plastic cups, they see your listing, click on it, order it. Now Amazon has to fulfill this order. They have to find your product in their warehouse, they have to put it in a bag or a box or whatever, and they have to send it out to the end customer. Now the fulfillment process is where, once again, it's based on the weight and the dimensions of your product. Because once again, they have to use their shipping carrier, UPS, and they have to send these out. These are going to be real active rates. And so depending on the weight and the size of your product, this is where things can get very, very expensive if you have a big product. So when it comes to fulfillment fees, we have fulfillment by Amazon, which is what I just mentioned, where they ship out your product, or we have fulfillment by seller. We're not going to be focusing on fulfillment by seller because, once again, the FBA model where I'm shipping out all my products is not sustainable and it's not scalable. So for the FBA business model, we have two major shipping size tiers. So we have the small standard and we have the large standard. Now we also have the small oversized, medium oversized, large oversized, and special oversized. But if you look at the shipping weight, 70 pounds or less, 150 pounds, 150 pound, majority of these we're not going to be selling under. So for this example, once again, we're probably going to be at the highest in the 3 pound to 20 pound increment. So I will cover these main two. Now, for example's sake, this is around the max dimensions where you have 15 inches by 12 inches by around 3/4 of an inch on the width of it. Now, with that being said, we have the max dimensions. Now, most products are going to fall under this, and so as long as you don't go over these dimensions, you're going to be in the small standard size tier. But we also have items like this, which is once again would fit in this, and items like this pecan wood chips, crazy, super random, but once again, these items are going to fit in this tier. Now, the next thing we have to look at is the actual shipping weight. So if your item is 6 ounces or less, you're going to be paying this price. If it's, 6 ounces to 3/4 of a pound or 12 ounces, you're paying this price. And if it's 3/4 of a pound to a full pound, you're paying this price. Now, on the higher end of this, we have this $3.59 price for an item that weighs around 12 to 16 ounces, which is pretty standard, pretty usual if you have a, more of a bulky item. But once again, for this specifically, in percentage wise, if we do just a simple calculations, if we're selling a $25 price item and we're paying, $3.59 in FBA fulfillment fees for Amazon to send that item out and ship to the end customer, then we're paying around 14, or we could round upwards around 15%. Once again, for a $25 priced item, to pay this amount, we're paying 15% of the overall sales price in FBA fees. So once again, we have the referral fee, which is around 15%, give or take, depending on your specific category. And now for the FBA fees, we have another around 15%, depending on the price of the item. But for an average $25 priced item, it's around 14 or 15%. And so this is why most of the items in this small standard size tier are going to be around $25, $30 as the sale price. Slightly more, slightly less, can be get away with it as well. But once again, as you come to a bigger item, these items are more expensive because, once again, as the dimensions go up and as the weights go up, so do the actual FBA fulfillment fees. So we can see that we're paying upwards of $6 as we go up to 20 pounds. And so that can really, really eat into your margins if you have an item that's priced $25. So that's why the price goes up and up as you get to bigger and bigger items, such as even, a refrigerator or, something that's over 150 pounds. The FBA fulfillment fees go up crazy, and so the price of the item selling for on Amazon has to go up just to offset that, and so you can have healthy margin. Now, for example's sake, we have this JBL speaker, which is around 1 pound, and we have this specific cup mug that's Starbucks cup mug, whatever. It's around 1.5 pounds. I weighed these out. Now, for this item, it's right around 1 pound, slightly under 1 pound. And so it would fall under the small standardized in the 12 to 16 ounces because, once again, the max dimensions are lower and the weight is right in between, 12 to 16 ounces. Now, for this cup, even though the max dimensions are, they're lower than this, but since it is more than 16 ounces, and once again, 16 ounces is 1 pound, it's about 1.5 pounds. So it would no longer be eligible for this tier. And so we go from $3.59 to the next one, which would be around 1 pound to 2 pounds. And so we're paying $1.50 more just because it weighs more. And so you can easily see that even though the max dimensions are lower, the weight is $5.14, and so they're going to be paying higher FBA fees because the items weigh more. For every single unit, you're paying $1.50 more per unit. Now, these once again are going to be the main two categories: the small standard and the large standard size items that you're going to be selling under. But once again, if you have a bigger item, then you want to just refer to this list. And if your item is within these large standard and it weighs over 3 to 20 pounds, and you're going to be paying, more per every single unit you sell. Now, if we scroll further down, we have specific clothing or apparel, which you may or may not want to sell. Me personally, I don't like to sell it because there's lots of different sizes that may not get purchased. But once again, if you're selling apparel, you will have a separate list, and you can come to this at any time and just, simply, get an idea of how much you're going to be charged for selling clothing. And now we also have the FBA fees for small and light products. So this could be for a product such as this phone case. It's extremely small and it's extremely light. So what do these fees say? So basically, if we look at this list, we see that the prices are slightly less for items that are smaller and lighter. But once again, you're going to be paying, relative to the price that you're selling on Amazon. For Amazon, I'm selling this case probably for, $20 at most. And so the fees are less, but once again, it's going to be around 15%, give or take, of your overall sales price is what you're paying in your fulfillment fees, as well as your referral fees. So as you can see, that the fulfillment and the referral fees add up to around 30%, sometimes more, around 33%, but you can just take, for example's sake, for most products around the board are going to be a third in the FBA fees, which are going to be covering the fulfillment, and the referral fees, you're paying a third of what your sell price on Amazon is for that specific product. Now, the last fee that you have to pay are going to be the FBA storage fees. So the fourth and final fee, once again, are the FBA storage fees. And we can see right here, it's going to be based on the cubic foot amount of, basically the cubic foot it takes up in Amazon's warehouse. So if you have a big, bulky product, the more cubic feet you take up, the more, or actually the less and less other products that Amazon can basically put in that fulfillment center. So they're going to be charging you based on how big and bulky your product is. So if you're selling, once again, an item like a phone case as compared to an item like this is already going to be a lot less, and you can fit a lot of these into this same size. And so you can easily see that as the bigger and bigger and bigger the item gets, the more and more FBA storage fees you will be racking up. Even if that item is not heavy, if it's just simply bulky enough, it's going to be taking up a lot in terms of storage fees as the same sized, in terms of dimensions, heavier item. It doesn't matter the weight. The size is still taking up that same amount of space in Amazon's warehouse. Now, how can we actually estimate how much Amazon is going to charge us for the referral fee and the fulfillment fee, which once again make up a rough estimate of around 30% of the overall sell price of the item? If we simply come to Amazon.com for this specific phone case that I just typed in and found, we basically just click on Amazon's X-ray helium chrome extension, or just the helium chrome extension, but specifically what we're going to be using is the profitability calculator, which basically allows us to put these specific numbers in for the product and get the overall FBA fees that Amazon's going to charge us. So we have, once again, the FBA fee, and we have the referral fee. They even give us the storage fee and the time in storage. Let's say if you want to be in storage for a month before you keep, rotating your items, they can give you a charge for that as well. So if you scroll all the way up, we have the price of the item. So this price on Amazon is $14. So this item is $14, and we have these specific dimensions. It's 6 by 3 inches by 3.5 by 0.71. We have the specific weight of the item. And so with that, it's going to be in the small standard size tier, which is once again where most products will fall. But once again, if you have a huge product, it will be outside of this tier. So if we have a $5 priced item, we have FBA fee staying the same, referral fee staying the same, but the profit margins are 27%. Now, if we were to go back down to the unit costing $3 to actually manufacture, now our profit margins are a lot better. And so we have 41% profit margins. But once again, we can easily see how much Amazon's going to charge us based on the dimensions of the unit, the weight of the unit. So we know that the FBA fees are going to be $2.92 and the referral fees are going to be $2.10. So let's say for some random case, it's going to be a single pound in weight, and the dimensions are going to go up to 15 inches on the longest side. So we can easily enter that in, and we can see that from $2.92, the referral fees, the FBA fees changed to $3.59. So it rose 60 cents just by changing the weight and the dimensions, which is what's going to be expected, because the FBA fees, meaning that when Amazon sends the product out via UPS, those fees are going to be more expensive because, once again, the item is heavier and the item is bigger. So once again, you can easily put different data into this profitability calculator. You can change your actual sale price. You can change your manufacturing price, get different profit margins, get different FBA fees, storage fees, and you can play around for your specific product that you're going to sell, these specific numbers that your manufacturer gives you in China, and you can easily figure out exactly how profitable and what your margins are, your FBA fees, your storage fees, all that are going to be before you ever even sell the product. So it's very, very important, and it's very, very useful of a tool if you use Helium 10's profitability calculator. Another thing, for my recommendation, I recommend selling products that have at least 30% profit margins, preferably 35. And as we see right here, this profit margin, after all this data we put into, even after we change the weight and everything else, it still has a profit margin of 35.98%. So once again, this is a great product because you will be profitable. Now, what you don't want to be selling is if this product was a 25% profit margin, a 20% profit margin. Even though it's still in the ballpark, you don't want to be selling products that cost more, because even though we have all these fees, the seller fee, the FBA fee, the fulfillment fee, the storage fees, there will be additional hidden fees that pop up somewhere along the process, whether it's units being destroyed or additional shipping fees or whatever it is. You're going to ultimately end up paying slightly more than you anticipate, and so your margins will slightly dwindle down even further than what they show on paper. But once again, that's everybody in the Amazon game. Everyone has slightly worse margins than what their margins say on paper, and so that's completely normal, but just know that that is the case, and so you don't want to be focusing on profit margins that are below 30%. We don't want to be thinking we're profitable when we're actually not, because that would suck at the end of the day when you have taxes and you have all this, potential money you think you made, but you actually were negative on paper. You want to make sure you have healthy profit margins, that you're doing things correctly. Here's the prices for each of these fees. For the seller account, that's going to cost you $1 to $40 every single month. For the fulfillment fees, it's going to cost you roughly around 15% of your overall sales in the fulfillment fees. For the referral fees, once again, roughly around 15% in your overall sales and referral fees you're paying to Amazon. And the last fee, once again, is going to be the storage fee, where you have to store your inventory in Amazon Fulfillment Center. So that's going to vary depending on the dimensions and how big your product is and how much space it's taking in Amazon's Fulfillment Center. So when it comes to selling on Amazon, you're roughly going to pay around 1/3 to actually sell on Amazon's platform and have them pick, pack, and ship your products out to the end customer. That's going to be around 33%. You're also going to be spending around 33% to actually get your units made. So that means, contacting manufacturers, getting inventory, having that inventory shipped over to Amazon to actually be sold. And then the last 33%, or the last 1/3, is going to be actual profit. So once again, you're spending around 1/3 on inventory, 1/3 on Amazon packing your product and sending it out to the end customer and storing your product into Amazon's fulfillment centers, and 1/3 in actual profit. So out of all the sales you get on Amazon, you're profiting 1/3, you're paying 1/3 for inventory, and you're paying 1/3 to Amazon. If you made it this far in the video, make sure that you're actually using the profitability calculator to try out and see exactly what your profit margins are going to be for the potential product that you're thinking about selling, just so that you're actually making sure you're profiting and not just selling units and having an expensive hobby. If you made it this far in the video, smash the thumbs up button and subscribe down below, because I release multiple step-by-step videos every single week showing you how to sell on Amazon.com. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.